we're going to work with, you guys both did the pranayama workshop. We're going to be kind of working with Apana Vayu today. Remember, Apana Vayu was that the Vayu that was down here that moves things down and out. So that's going to kind of be our, I guess you could say, intention for our practice as we close this year and go into the new year. You know, because Apana Vayu has wisdom, and it's not just getting rid of everything, but it's getting rid of what we don't need. So we can kind of close the year with getting rid of what we don't need and letting the body's wisdom do that for us. And so when we come into our, you know, I mentioned earlier, we're going to come into our hero pose like this. That activates our stomach meridian that runs across our knees. And that stomach meridian supports us in drawing nourishment from our experiences. So we're going to draw nourishment from our experiences this year. And then I use that Apana Vayu to just kind of go down and out with what isn't going to serve us or what we can leave behind. So that's the intention for today. So maybe as we sit and connect with the breath, connecting with that Apana Vayu, just bringing our awareness to that lower part of the abdomen. That Apana Vayu supports us in release and letting go. Let's feel ourselves in the energy of letting go. Sometimes we're ready to let things go. Other times it can be a little unsettling or nervy, like, oh, I'm not ready yet. It's okay if you're not ready, then it's not going to go. We're just invite the energy in. And our asanas today will support us in letting go and drawing nourishment out of our experience. If it's not too stressful or if it feels right, on your inhale, feel that low belly and feel it expand. Maybe even putting your hands there. That feels comfortable, but just feel that low abdomen. Fill the hands as we breathe in. And exhale. Maybe you're even starting in your position, sitting on the heels. And one more breath in. And let's exhale. Maybe bring hands to the heart. Or hands can just rest in the lap. Another deep breath in. Good, guys. And if it feels right, you can exhale a single Om on your own pace. It doesn't have to be with me, but just beginning our practice with that sound of Om. Now let's bring our hands to our knees. And with mindfulness, let's lean our heart forward and roll over to the right and then come back. And then over to the left and back. Yeah, if you're sitting on those blocks, then move them out of the way. Maybe come to your Sukhasana or your Siddhasana. Just kind of moving and drawing awareness to that low belly as we move. Kind of orbiting the Apana Vayu home. And then switching directions. Whenever it feels right, but just making sure that you go both directions. And maybe a couple more rounds, a couple more orbits. And then bring those shoulders over the hips. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Let's bring our knees up, feet down. If you're facing the long edge of your mat, face the short edge. I'm going to switch. Let's bring our palms to the sky. Recline back, lift the heels. We find ourselves in boat pose, but just for a breath or two. Maybe a few more breaths. So keep that left knee in, extend the right leg out. And then bring the right leg to bend and send the left leg out. And then keep doing that back and forth, the right heel forward, leg long, and then the left leg, kind of like if you were riding a bike, but this is our wind releasing pose, a variation of it. So letting that Vayu, that air go. And now bring the knees back to bend, both of the knees bend. So here we are in Shavasana. Let's lower down the back all the way to bring those knees into the chest. Here's our Apana. Both knees drawn into the chest. This is our ascending, descending colon that we're activating if we press and compress the side body. Now keep that right knee in, extend the left leg long. So here's that wind releasing pose where we're on our back. Keep the left leg hovered, maybe like 2 inches above the ground. So lower it down and extend through the heel. The right knee is hugged in. And now extend the right leg long, a couple inches above the ground, left knee into the side. And now let's do that kind of with a breath. So inhale, exhale, extend, draw it in. It's kind of one breath per movement. Drawing that low belly down, awareness to that Apana Vayu home. You might feel our core heating up just a little bit, maybe a lot. And now one more time each side. Draw the left knee in or the right, and then the opposite leg in. And let's pause with our feet to the ground, knees to the sky, and rest here, pausing for a breath. And now press those feet to the ground. You can keep the feet kind of far away from the glutes or draw them in. We're going to come into our bridge pose. So on an exhale, press the feet into the floor, drive the glutes up, lifting the hips to the sky. And then inhale to lower. Exhale, lift the hips to the sky. Inhale, lower. Inhale, hips up to the sky. Let's pause there. And then lower, exhale. Bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees fall out to the side. Reclined butterfly, Supta Baddha Konasana. Closing the eyes. Just letting that prana move and flow after these few little asanas to get our body and our intention flowing into our space. One more breath in. And now exhale, bring the knees together. Let's roll over to one side. The arm can be like a pillow. Pause in the side body. Then exhale to press up. Bringing the hands forward. Let's bring those knees behind, or those knees underneath us, the legs behind us. Finding that rock pose. Maybe you have blocks underneath the seat, maybe not. Either way, you've got that bend in the knees. Let's pause here for 3 breaths. The beginning, middle, and end. And whenever you get to that 3rd exhale, bring the hands down in front, bring the sits bones up, feet back, and find downward facing dog. So the sit bones reach for the sky, maybe gaze at the navel, gazing towards that seat of Apana Vayu. Breathe in. Exhale, let the breath go. Inhale, let's rock it forward. So shoulders over the wrists. Breathe in. Yeah, now exhale, go back, downward facing dog. And let's just do that, one movement per breath. We inhale to come up, and we exhale to go back to downward facing dog. Just moving, warming up, back and forth. Even exaggerating the breath. And then next time you come into plank, let's meet in plank together, pausing in plank, adjusting the hands if we need to, the feet so we feel nice and stable. And we're going to draw that right knee into the elbow. So this is kind of that wind releasing pose, but we're with our hands on the ground. And bring the right leg back, left knee to the elbow, and then draw it back. And now one movement per breath. Exhale to draw the knee in and inhale back. So on your own, exhale, drawing the knee in and inhaling to be long. I think our Apana Vayu was like, finally, I'm getting some attention. Now, one more time, each side, we'll meet in plank pose. And from your plank pose, find a moment to find some stillness. And exhale, lower down the knees. Let's sit back on our heels. Maybe hands come in prayer, or they rest on the thighs. We've got 3 breaths, beginning, middle, and end. When you get to that 3rd exhale, walk the hands forward, send the sits bones up and back to downward facing dog. We're all going to meet in downward facing dog. Nice job, guys. Now step that right foot forward, lower that left knee down. Stay hovered over that right thigh. This is that compression there in the colon. Just breathe in. Now exhale, curl the toes of the left foot under. Let's rise all the way up, releasing that compression. And sink down with the knee, the hip, but keep the knee lifted if it feels good. Let's breathe in. Now exhale, send that left hand to the left hamstring, and the right arm reaches for sky. A gentle back bend just to start. And now exhale, bring the hands forward above the head. Exhale, compress that side body again, but keep that left knee up. And you can keep the hands forward or down, wherever feels right. Let's breathe in and out. Now inhale to rise, lifting hands up above the head. This time bring that right hand to the back of the left leg. Left arm reaches for sky, perhaps a slight back bend. Nice, guys. And now exhale, frame that front foot, bring the right hand on the outside of the foot, step the right knee back, the right leg back, and now lower down. Let's find our hero pose. 3 breaths. Letting the stomach meridian come into balance to offer us that nourishment from our experiences. The bottom of that 3rd exhale, bring the hands forward, send the sits bones up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good. Now stepping the left foot forward, lower that right knee down. Now here we are, let's pause over that left thigh, the left side body, hovering, or maybe you notice it touching, maybe not. Let's breathe in. And then exhale, curl the toes of the right foot under. Let's lift up, crescent lunge, breathe in. And on an exhale, that right hand comes to that right thigh, left arm reaches up for sky. Maybe a slight back bend if you want to reach that left thumb back along with the crown of the head, or just stay with the shoulders kind of in the middle. Breathe in. And then exhale, bring the hands above the head. Let's exhale, fold just a little bit to compress that side body again, hands reaching forward, past the crown of the head. Inhale, rise, and now the left hand comes to that right leg, right arm to sky. Breathing in and out. Now exhale, bring the hands above the head, and then we'll fold it forward, framing that foot. Step the left foot back. Now this time, instead of coming into our hero pose, we're gonna lift up and back to downward facing dog. Now ground the left foot, reach the right leg to sky, bend the knee, stack the hips. Maybe open up the hip with a little bit of few circles with that right knee. And then square the hips to the ground, with the right leg to sky, and then bring that right leg back to the earth. Inhale, lift the left leg to sky, bend the knee, stack the hips. Moving that left knee into circles maybe. And then exhale, lower that left foot to the ground. Let's breathe in. Now step the right foot forward between the hands, pause. Lengthen through that heel to lengthen out of that hip socket. Now step the left foot forward and step the right foot back. The right heel goes back, reaching to stretch out the front of that right leg. Now stepping the right foot forward to meet the left, sit back in chair pose with the arms up to the sky, maybe to the side body. But finding your chair, Utkatasana. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale. Exhale, step that left foot to the ground. And the right foot goes back. Open up the foot towards the long edge. The right foot to the long edge, left foot towards the front. And then bring the arms down and out to the side. Virabhadrasana 2. Now let's straighten that front leg. And then exhale to bend, to sink into that knee, that leg, that hip. Yeah, there you go. You got it. Maybe lift the left heel off the ground. Woo, hello. And then lower it back down. Yeah. Right hand to that right leg with the arm up and back. Here's a peaceful warrior. Let's pause. Now exhale, bring the left hand forward. The right arm comes up, fingertips reach. Short edge to short edge. Pause here. Now exhale, pivot the left foot towards the long edge. Now heel toe that right foot in. So we're kind of in our extended mountain pose. Now bring the heels in, toes point towards the edge. Exhale, sit down, goddess pose. Maybe the hands point down towards the earth and Kali Mudra. Down and out. Maybe you straighten the legs, lifting up. Exhale. Let it go as you sink back down. Maybe lifting heels coming onto the balls of the feet. Maybe you keep the feet grounded. Breathe in. Exhale, hands come to the hips. Let's lift up just a little bit, but keep those knees bent. Heel toeing the feet in. So maybe they're wider than hip distance or hip distance. Now sink the hips down, malasana. Adjusting as you need to, and if that's not in your practice, then find your sumo, which is kind of like a wide-footed chair. Opening up the hips down and out. 5 breaths. 1 breath to settle. 3 for beginning, middle, and end, and then 1 to transition. Maybe exaggerating the breath. And then after that final exhale, maybe we shift onto the balls of the feet. If you want to come into crow pose and fly for a little bit, you can fly. Otherwise, come into malasana with those heels lifted. We'll be here for 3, 4, 5 breaths, however long. And then after that final breath, coming down back onto the balls of the feet, and then we'll rise up to stand. And lower those heels down when you get to the top. Pause there. And now step that right foot back to face the short edge. And that left leg faces the long edge. So Virabhadrasana 2 on the other side. And really sink that knee forward, maybe even over the ankle, towards the toes, to sink into that right hip socket. And then find that bend, that feeling, that shape that's just right. And then inhale, extend the arms open. Exhale, glance over that front right hand. Maybe the hands are on the hips. And then exhale, send that left hand down, that left leg, right arm to sky. It's over the head, reaching towards that left foot side of the mat. Breathe in. And then exhale, arms come open, reaching short edge to short edge. Pause here, let's breathe in. Exhale, bring hands to the hips. Now pivot that right foot towards the long edge again. Heel toe the feet in just a little bit. Let's sink down into malasana once again. That Apana Vayu, sinking down, out, lifting the heart. Maybe this time we glance up towards where the sky and the wall meet. Up into the ethers. Now let's exhale, coming into crow pose, or you can stay in malasana. This time in our crow pose, bringing those big toes together, and maybe we tap the heels towards the glutes and then the toes towards the floor. Maybe we notice that Apana Vayu seat a little more, that lowest part of the belly. Maybe that's not accessible. Maybe just fly in your crow. Now let's lower down our toes, sit back on our heels for just a breath. Animalasana. And now exhale, bring hands behind us, seats come to the ground, and then we'll extend our legs out for just enough time to kind of stretch the toes, pointing those toes long, and then bring the heels in, toes to the sky, palms shine towards each other. Exhale, lean back, find our boat pose. Breathe in. And now exhale, draw that left knee in, the right leg goes long. Right knee in, left leg goes long. And then just keep doing that. One breath per movement. Bringing awareness to that low belly, drawing it in. And one more time with each foot to extend. And after you extend that last leg one more time, draw the knees in, float the knees or the heels to the ground. Hands come beside us. Let's come into a seated butterfly, soles of the feet together. Sits bones ground, knees fall to the side. Maybe hands come to the shins, and you roll the shoulders up, back and down, and pull on the shins with the hands, and the heart automatically just kind of shines forward. Breathe in. Let the breath go. One more breath. Let the breath go. Now inhale. We'll transition into that rock pose again. So knees come down, feet to the earth, blocks underneath the seat if you need to. And we'll be here for 3 breaths. Beginning, middle, and end. Now after that final 3rd breath, just kind of rolling over to one side. And whichever side you roll onto, keep that foot in and extend the other leg out long. So you've got one foot on the inside of your long leg. So one knee is bent, one leg is long. Let's flex that foot towards the face on that long edge. And then we'll inhale to reach our hands up to sky. And let's exhale, twist towards that bent leg. Hands shine towards each other. We just send the shoulder blade back, the shoulder, maybe gaze that direction. On an exhale, bring the chest forward, shine the heart towards that extended legs, big toe. And now, as if there were a string on your heart, pulling that heartstring towards the big toe. Toe and heart reaching, reaching. And when you can't get it any closer, lower the hands down. And then bring that chin to the chest. Maybe you find you can walk just a little closer once you're folded. Exhale. Now breathe in. And exhale, bring the shoulders back over the hips. Roll them up, back and down, that heart shining forward, nice and tall and like dignified. Now bring the left knee in. We're gonna try this on for size. We don't do this very often. We're gonna bring our arms up. That left foot's on the ground, the knee is up kind of towards the chest. Now we're folding over that long leg. So let's try that again. So pull on that heartstring, shine the heart forward towards that big toe, and then bring the hands, when you can't reach that heart further, bring the hands down and the chin to the chest. And pause here. Some people might be able to bring that left arm behind that left leg and have a bind behind the back. We didn't open our shoulders much or our chest much today. So you can try it now or during another class maybe, but that's another way to express this pose. We can just bring our hands down beside that leg and we'll pause. And now let's exhale, bring the shoulders back over the hips. Nice job, guys. Let's send our left leg long and let's thunder thigh it out. So I'm just gonna slap those back legs down to the earth. Maybe bringing the legs wide and then in. And then with the opposite leg, whichever leg you had long, bend it in. The bent knee goes long. Now roll the shoulders up, back and down, finding those sits bones grounded. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. That left foot, or whatever leg is long, that foot is flexed. Let's breathe in. Now exhale, turn towards that bent leg, a gentle twist. Maybe you notice it in that low belly. With that knee bend, it kind of accentuates that part of the body. A little compression. Now exhale, bring the heart to shine towards that big toe. Readjust those sits bones if you need to. And now that big toe pulls on the heartstring, heart reaching towards that toe. And when you can't get it any closer, lower down the hands and then bring that chin to the chest. And then find that expression of your asana. One more breath in. Now exhale to bring those shoulders over the hips. Arms can reach up to the sky if that feels good, or maybe they just stay beside you. We'll draw those hands down if they're lifted. And now extend the legs nice and long. From here, wiggle the toes, wiggle the ankles. Let's bring our feet nice and wide. Ground those sits bones. And for our last little shape here before we come into Shavasana, let's feel ourselves grounding through the backs of our legs, through the heels. And now inhale to reach the arms up to sky. Exhale, hinging forward. We're just gonna go right kind of towards the middle. And you can go partway down. When you notice it in the back of the legs, you can pause. Maybe you wanna bring your hands to the ground. Whichever way you wanna find your shape today. Nice job, guys. Whenever you're ready, roll those shoulders back over the hips. And then however you want to find your way to Shavasana, maybe you want to kind of twist towards the side a little more. Maybe you want to find a boat pose or a seated butterfly. And whatever feels right. It might be really nice to find a happy baby. Kind of one last hoo-wah for your Apana Vayu. Our happy baby is a really good shape for that. And then surrender into what might be perhaps your last Shavasana of the year. We've made it so far. We've all been through so much. Let's just rest. Allow our energy to move down and out, to draw our nourishment, to digest our experiences. We're just going to be here in Shavasana. Perhaps filling our space with some gratitude for our entire being, for getting us to this moment. Now when you're ready, let's roll over to one side and pause with intention on our side body. Letting our head gently rest on our arm. This is our fetal position. Maybe we just rest here with the idea that this practice, as always, is a gateway to a new birth. We're kind of reborn after each practice. So let's really bring that into our awareness today. Closing out the year and bringing ourselves into a new beginning. And then when you're ready, gently pressing up to seated position. Maybe you find yourself in your hero pose again, or in an easy pose. We'll close together, seated. Let's exhale. Inhale together. Exhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om.